series of the group stages so far, taking on TNC in the second game. It's going to be a tricky matchup for them. See, with the draft or set, it's going to be a little bit more of a team fight orientated lineup that we have at the moment from TNC, and I'm excited to see how Cuckoo is able to play on the Chaos Knight as a position 3 though.
Yeah, I mean it's been played a lot as a 3 throughout the world, really. Yeah. Like it's not even something exclusive to the Southeast Asian region. I know, I think it was Viking playing it quite heavily. Over in the European region, China, they're always trying to innovate as much as possible, and yeah, Southeast Asia's picked it up too. So I think he's totally fine with it. It's just about getting those couple of early stats, securing your farm, making it so you don't have to go back to base all that much, and then, like you mentioned, picking up the Ag Scepter, making even more illusions to deal with.
See how the setup's going to go, and hopefully Qian's able to have a bit better of a time on this Spectre than the Anti-Mage last game. So a couple of the pickoffs really hinder the lane, but early on, I mean,
the battle begins.
Oh, actually, who's going to get the bounty? Looks like Cuckoo will. And Febby actually might be in trouble here, though. Already picked up the level in the Fire Spirits. At least the Dagger's going to give them some movement speed slow. Actually, no, they're not going to chase forward. They do have another Chaos Bite available and some of the decays to continue falling, but Zephyr wasn't there, so a little bit of harassment, I guess.
And has to be still a little careful here on Febby. He gets up onto his level 2 now, so he's got the dive for the escape potential. I think he just took a creep away from the Spectre, though.
Still my CS, what the hell, Febby? What are you doing? Just pinging him, molded. Goddamn, 1 CS. That could be the difference here. As see, moment with the Orb of Venom on Cuckoo, just the slows coming out, and also with the follow-up stun, Spectre could be in trouble, and the Orb's going to be enough damage to secure first blood here. So T1, they hit once again early.
Stat items, especially against something like a Zeus, is that you've got a pretty pathetic health pool. So something like a Zeus is just able to deal with you really effectively. Same thing with the Phoenix, if he's able to get in on top of him, or the Mirana if you get a lucky stun through.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, so, and I mean, they don't really have this defensive aspect. I mean, Soul Rip kind of, if that heal is going to be enough with everything in the area. So we'll see if he's able to get all the stat items fast enough to kind of tank up through the damage, and intrigued on even if we might see some kind of magic resistance come through on the Chaos Knight potentially, if he's just going to go for that Ags pretty early.
Oh, KP's scouting out for Whitemon here. He should be able to spot him out. No, the cover of Nighttime's enough to let him get away. Armel always going to find the Royal Jelly. Really nice for him.
Dire looking to pressure though. Cole's got 4 points up in the Edict. TNC, they don't want to allow this to happen though. He's level 8 as well, so the damage really starting to skyrocket here for the Zeus, and now with the slow just allows them to constantly chase him down. Armel needs one more Arc Lightning to claim it, and now he's going to look for more blood as well with Cuckoo trying to get in top of the river. But it looks like the Zeus right now is just dishing out the deeps. They even get the Haunt just for the vision. Qian's going to be able to claim that one. And they get the vision on top of Zephyr as well with the puck. Orb is unfortunately on cooldown. He can pop the 1 for the Waning Rift, but they're going to have the vision thanks to the dagger, and Armel will come over. Very nice tower defense from TNC as they find 3, and meanwhile across the map, Tim's just soaking up some experience, and top
of the staircase, and then it felt like he couldn't run away or something like that. I don't know what happened. So sorry, he yaws the Slardar, and then he couldn't run through him because he was like dead in the center and there was just no path. It's crazy. I've never seen that. Just a complete block off by one hero.
Mid lane though, Tombstone job to deal with the trees straight on top of the Zeus. Armel's going to get brought down here. And you just see Dire recognizing that Radiant just used pretty much everything. I mean, Haunt down, Thunder God's down, Supernova down as well. So like, alright, we got meta, time to go. Let's take the tier 1 tower. We feel pretty strong at the moment. And you know, they just catch out the Zeus, and now they might be able to find another hero as well. Yul sets up for that stun. They got the follow up in the Waning Rift just in case there's any dive. And now, I mean, they get 2 pickoffs back. They're favored in trouble here. He eats the arrow. The creeps actually didn't tank it up there.
You make a fine crater.
Nicely done again by TNC. Even if they weren't able to get that last little bit, they had the Zeus who Thunder God's Wrath just came up for him as well. So he was dead regardless, and only 250 gold away, speaking of that Zeus, from his Ag Scepter. So nice healthy timing coming through from him. And Yeah, probably just going to do the normal thing, opt into the 25 movement speed.
They want
Tim's
to take the fight. Haunt, KP, blink forward. They're going to be able to bring down Cuckoo. It's a decent tombstone, but look at the damage coming out. They haven't got on top of the Zeus, so RML, just with all the magical forcing them back. Whitemon's going to try and retreat away, but meanwhile, Puck still going to end up falling, and it looks like Whitemon's going to join him as well. 3 down from T1. And that ward from TNC on the high ground, you see just the Siren would jump from the Slaughter and the Spectre there. Very nice fight.
Yeah, so remind me, when was the
mid
they
lane?
found Carl again? Oh no, he just TP'd
Gonna
back
get
out.
dropped here with that ultimate now revealed thanks to the Aghanims, and now he's in trouble. Just TP'd there. 2 deaths in a row now, and TNC, they've just been able to find a immense amount of important pickoffs so far through this game, and now this is going to allow them to walk and claim Roche.
When was the time that Amel died? Can you remind me of that?
When?
Did they dive in mid? Is that what happened? Like when the T1 tower went down?
I'm trying to remember. When did he die?
I feel like that might have been it.
Yeah,
Anyway.
actually, the T1 tower, when they dropped the tombstone when Dai took the objective.
So it just feels like what we were thinking before, where it's like, well, if Amel could just sit back and cast spells like he did in that previous couple of fights, really, they're just going to win, because there's no way to deal with this effect that he's having on illusions right now. KP might be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, they deal with the ward on the high ground. Now they're going to try and turn with the tombstone coil dropped as well. Slaughter will fall, Febby. Try and dive away. I mean, they got the coil if... Sorry, they got the supernova they continue to chase, and they're not going to do so, though. So just unfortunately, KP getting a little bit too over-aggressive. But meanwhile, top, though, Carl might get picked off once again. He's in trouble here.
Oh, no.
He doesn't have any help in the last track. Uses the Yules aggressively. Where's the
Nimbus,
extra
though?
heroes coming through? Armel can get in range for the bolt. He can, and Carl is ultra dead here. It's just going to be an extra death. I mean, that is now 3 in a row that we're seeing this Leshrac. Whose Implore is that? From the western side here, they're going to be careful how far they push out of the base. Now with the coil drop, Zephyr finds 2. They still have the Aegis to be able to utilize here. Cuckoo's going to be able to drag back 1. Armel doesn't have too much mana to be able to continue with the fight as well. KP is going to be able to bring down the back, but he's still got to be careful as well as Jackie with the Metamorphosis trying to look to turn the Sunder. Xian needs the TP out. They got the damage coming out. Now with the dive away, Febby, can he retreat with the Sunray up on the high ground? It looks like he can, but they just punished his over-aggressive dive from TNC there.
And that's the thing as well. Like, honestly, I don't even feel like that was an over-aggressive dive. I just think they weren't all on the same page, because when KP, did that huge run, he blinks in, he stuns, but he doesn't use the corrosive haze onto him. And so when the Spectre fully commits to try and take him out, he ends up getting away on about 200 HP instead. If he has corrosive haze, that is dead. The fight is in your favor, or at the very worst, you force an additional.
Good phase shift. Oh, actually, Zephyr, never mind. He jaunts away. Perfect timing. They still have the vision to be able to follow up. They drop the Nimbus, so it gets the orb away. KP is going to pop the B. KP really wants this kill. That's his 10-second duration there, and Puck going to just be able to dip out of here. They still got the vision, thanks to the minus armor coming through from KP. They're diving very deep. KP got to be careful with the rotations, but he doesn't care right now. There's just, no other heroes were coming. The Lesh didn't have the BKB just yet. Chaos Knight farming up the jungle as well. It looks like T1 really going to be able to control up the enemy's triangle camp at the moment. Roshan's going to be up in 10 seconds. Who gets the vision? They're going to blink forward. They found Carl, who's got the BKB, but it's not even going to come through in the meantime. And now TNC, they want to hunt for more with the Horn. It's going to provide the vision. Whitemon's stuck out in the river, but looks like off to the western side. Spectre, he wants the Terrorblade hunting through the tree line. Jackie, he doesn't have a TP as well for another 10 seconds here. So Xian, can he find the vision? Even KP wrapping over as well. They find the stun, but where's the rest of the team? Got to keep in mind, this Terrorblade, he's got this BKB, Metamorphosis, and the Sunder, but it looks like it's just going to be too difficult with the arrow finds a connection thanks to the bash. And Dire, they lose 3, and they don't find anything.
I'd be pretty damn close to calling it if I was on T1's side right now. Like, it just seems like there's so few opportunities for them to come back into this game. Even before all of that, I think they had a 12% win probability, and when it updates, it's going to swing into the single digits. And now Spectre's most likely going to have this Aegis coming through for him. So 2 lives for him, he can play even more ballsy than before.
Aegis, oh my god, he got the cheese. It was so close. I'm like, you're going to pick...
As soon as he's revealed, and for once, he's going to be out of position. Oh no, he gets away just in time. The benefit of that Blink Dagger that he just purchased up.
Well, they find the puck, and now with the Thunder Gods, they get extra vision as well. Revealed up. Jackie's in the area. Puck can buy back, but they don't have the outpost control. Qian on the high gun's going to try and deal with the Tombstone. So Rick will delay it. And with Phantasm coming out as well, you're going to be careful because Spectre's stuck up here at the moment. They're going to try and get the Haunted drawn down. Ultimate's going to cast the out from the Supernova, but can they actually deal with the car's going to move forward with the BKB, but the damage, where's it coming through at the moment? Supernova's going to end up popping. Spectre is trying to go to work on top of the back here, but KP's falling incredibly low, pops the cheese, meanwhile Qian as well. Tombstone's still going to work here, they haven't dealt with it so far, but it's not going to matter. It's T1, they lose 3, finally the BKB is going to get popped. Jackie's going to try and turn, he's got the Sunder to be able to utilize, he gets it off, but it looks like Qian doesn't matter. He's still got this extra life, and Jackie, the last survivor. The Zuku blinks forward with counter from KP. He's going to be able to find the Chaos Thunder. Just the damage on top of the back. Armel's even got an Arcane Rune as well, so just too much for T1 to be able to deal with. They don't have buybacks at the moment. And Qian still with that extra life. I mean, there's some towers down bot, so they won't be able to get at least that Rax. And you see at the moment with... They push... Okay, it's not the fastest pushing lineup, but at least with multiple heroes down from Dire, it's going to make it a lot easier as they get a full set of Rax mid. They're going to try and claim some more objectives at the top side of the map.
Yeah, they'll be fine. Oh, they've even caught out Zephyr again. He's inside the Nimbus too. Al's tried to do, he just dies.
Yeah. I mean, 10 deaths is 0, 10, and 2. This has been quite the rough game, and
he's probably about to die again.
He's just gonna die again. You can't show like that. Yeah, I mean, it has to be someone like the Puck or the Chaos Knight trying to deal with it with the illusions. And now Qian's also going to be able to find the Terror Blade.
They're hunting.
Now, the
KP's
Abyssal Blade is going to try and drop the BKB in turn with the Sunder, but KP on top of the back. They got the Bash and Die. They're not in range to really protect the Terror Blade at the moment. Still BKB lasting a little bit longer just with the duration, but they're going to be able to chase him down now inside the base. Tims goes forward. They don't have buybacks on the 2 cores. There's no opportunity for T1 to be able to turn it on the high ground, and finally they're going to call it quits as we'll have a tied series here between TNC and T1 for our first series of the day.
Dominant. As dominant as T1 were in that first game. You know, it just felt like with the Arc Warden in game 1, they were able to execute exactly the strategy that they wanted.